You got to do something a little different. And even then, rosin is just, it may lose a little terps. People are arguing that. You're using heat. It's decarboxylated. You're not getting THC high. You're only getting edible high. We're going to put this area to the test. I'm going to write about it. We're going to get some tests done by MCR Labs up in Boston. And
we're going to keep our eyes out for that. Definitely keep us posted.
Yeah, Bobby, keep us posted on the story that's developing here in Rhode Island with this crackdown. And
we are organizing a protest at the State House Wednesday. It's called Protest for Hope. You can find the event page, all info right on Facebook. But I hope that we're going to have maybe anywhere from 100 to 350 people show up. Where there's a lot of unity in Rhode Island right now, and patients and caregivers are really trying to make a stand for this. Everybody's writing and, submitting letters and calling and, trying to make sure that we kill this bill that they're also trying to pass right now, which would strip all caregiver rights in Rhode Island and give them solely to supposed grow centers.
All right, we're going to go to break, but before we go to break, let people know how they can connect with you and Relief Magazine.
You can find me on Facebook under Bobby Nuggs, NUGGZ, Instagram Bobby Nuggs Official, and visit our website, www.relief.co, for all our up-to-date issues of the magazine and more.
Thank you so much, Bobby.
Thanks a lot, Bobby.
Hopefully we'll have you call back in next week with an update. You guys are listening to...
Good. I'll call in from Colorado. I'll be at the Cup.
You lucky
Awesome. You're
bastard.
listening to Fully Baked Radio on HamiltonRadio.net. Right. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple short minutes, and we'll have some more guests on the line for you. If you'd like to talk with us, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter at Fully Baked Radio.
Or give us a call at 609-800-1003. Fully Baked Radio.
Okay, potheads, we're back on the air. You're listening to Fully Baked Radio, and I hope you're smoking a bowl while you're listening. HamiltonRadio.net.
So we have Dr. Asim Sapal, the Dean of Faculty of Oaksterdam University. Now, for our listeners out there that may not know or not familiar with Oaksterdam University, they're America's first cannabis education center, I'll call it. They started in 2007, originating in Oakland, California, and as many colleges and cannabis grow classes and things like that are popping up, these guys were the original. And if you may, Dr. Asim Sapal.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
Welcome to Fully Baked Radio.
Hey, we're doing great. We're doing great over here. How are you all doing? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for calling.
We're doing well. Tell listeners a little bit about Oaksterdam University and what type of education you're trying to offer regarding cannabis.
Well, yeah, thanks for the question. You guys said some really kind words. Thank you. We really appreciate it. There's a lot that we're trying to do. You're right. We've been around since 2007. We are America's first cannabis college, and we've been doing this for a while. We're at a point now where it's time to expand our curriculum. We're getting a lot of students in here. We have a lot of programs, as you mentioned. We're the only school in the world where not only do we teach you how to grow cannabis, but we have hands-on training. So we don't just tell you what to do. You walk in here, we have a living lab. You'll drop your first seed. You'll harvest your plant by the time you're done. It's great. We have comprehensive programs where we'll teach you everything from politics and history, economics, science of cannabis, business management. Just the same things you'd learn at a traditional university. It's just that our content is different. But, now that it's been a while, we're going to get to the point where we are going to start offering majors. So you can actually major in a subject like dispensary operations or cooking with cannabis. We're going to take our program online. So look out in about 4 to 5 months. We'll be online. And I want to mention one other thing. In our school, it's pretty cool because our student body is so diverse. You're going to have 18-year-olds, people that just graduated high school, sitting next to a surgeon or a pharmacist or an engineer or a CPA. The reason I mention that to you is because we are now going to look forward to offering CMEs and CLEs so that attorneys can get continuing legal education credits and physicians can get continuing medical education credits. And I say that because that's how many physicians and attorneys, as many high school graduates, are attending our programs. So it's looking pretty good for us.
Nice. Now, you guys started in Oakland, but you have several different branches now, correct?
Yep, that's right. We did start in Oakland. At one point, we had 4 campuses. Now, right now, Oakland, California, or Oaksterdam is the only place where we actually have a physical brick-and-mortar campus. But we've been taking our show on the road. We just came back from Vegas. We'll be back in Vegas in June. But we're looking to open up some more campuses. We'll probably open up a brick-and-mortar in Vegas. We'll probably open up a campus in Denver, and most likely New York out there on the East Coast.
Nice. Dope.
Yeah, and I saw recently that you brought the program on the road, and you came to Atlantic City, and I see that you're going to be in Las Vegas soon. Tell us more about these type of, weekend seminars and what people get out of them.
Sure. A lot of our students are from out of state. So 60% of our students come from outside of California, and about 15% come from out of country. We're pretty proud of that. Our alumni is definitely the most active in the world. In fact, a lot of our graduates are the ones that actually pull the permits, the majority of the permits in Vegas, and that's why we went out there. But that being said, because a lot of our students are from out of state, we take our traditional 14-week semester. So you can come down here for 14 weeks and knock out both of our programs. But for those of you that can't, you can take those weekend seminars, which can last anywhere from 2 to 4 days. And, it works out really well for the students that just can't hang out here for that long. Now, you're going to learn everything. You can do the entire indoor program with the hands-on labs in those 4 days. So you'll learn everything from seed to harvest, everything indoor, lighting, safety. But I want to mention one thing. Before we teach all that fun stuff, we always make sure that the first class we teach everybody, whether it's a seminar or a semester, is the law. So local, state, and federal law is the first thing you're going to learn, and then we'll get into everything else.
Do you guys still have any confliction with the federal government and law enforcement when you open, or when you do your classes and things like that?
No, we had that issue in 2012. Of course, I was politically motivated because that was in an effort to stop California from legalizing cannabis for adult use. And of course, 2 months later, Washington and Colorado did that. Now, Dale Sky Jones is our executive chancellor. Since she and I took over in 2012, we've had no issues. In fact, we're here in the city of Oakland. We have a really good relationship with the local police department, the Oakland Police Department. We're on very, very good terms. In fact, the mayor of Oakland held fundraisers right downstairs in our classroom. So it goes to show you how politically involved we are and the type of support we have from local government. As far as the feds are involved, I don't think they're worried about us. I mean, we need to get to the point where people understand that what we're doing is educating people. One of the things I always say to people is when you pass the law, I'm not the one passing the law. You guys are. And when you pass the law, what are you going to do? What's the state going to tell you to do? They don't offer you a handbook with rules and regulations. So what they're basically doing is they're giving you the keys to the car, but nobody's teaching you how to drive. And that's what Oaksterdam University is doing. And so I don't see any reason why anybody, whether it's the federal government or anybody else, would stand in the way of us educating people. And when you look at the people that are sitting in our classrooms, it's the ones that are just graduating that are going to look forward to starting a new career. It's your attorney. It's your doctor. It's your grandma. That are sitting in our classrooms. I don't see any reason why anybody would stand in the way of that.
Dr. Sapal, I believe Don has a question for you.
Yes, hi. If I was to want to come to your university from New Jersey, do you have dorms? Do you have hotel rooms? Do you have, how would I sign up? And is it kind of like a university where it's got that type of facilities?
So we do have a lot of those facilities. We're working to build and expand and to offer our students more. The thing that we don't have is, on-campus housing, but we do have a pretty good support team here that will really help you guys out. There's so many students that they close up shop wherever they're from, and they come out here for 16 weeks. And so we have a board here where other students can get to know each other. Maybe they can room in local areas. We have discounts at the hotels. But basically, you just want to go online, find one of the classes that you like in our course schedule, and there's online submissions, so you can do everything online. Not a big deal. We'll make sure we send you a welcome letter. Our admissions department will contact you. We'll give you all of the tools, all the resources, all the information you need about the area, where to go, where to stay, where to eat. And our staff's pretty good about it. I think, for the most part, people have a great experience. You can always look at our Yelp reviews, and the stories kind of speak for themselves.
That'll work. Doc, can I ask you a horticultural question?
Sure.
I kind of call myself a cannabis connoisseur. I like smoking. And one of the things that aggravates me about people who are, I say, amateur growers or beginning growers is they don't let their herb cure long enough. What do you generally say is a good time to cure your herb?
You know, that's a great point. You know, a lot of students they can do a lot of work, and then it's that last few weeks, it's that last month where they can ruin everything.
Exactly.
And a lot of it even happens before the curing process to make sure that. You know, I was just looking at our lab right now, and one of our interns was in the flowering lab, and I'm making sure that, hey, you know, you're feeding pH water at this point with maybe a little bit of some carbon or some sweetener. So these are some of the things that you need to do to prepare your cannabis before you cure it. And of course, when you do cure it, there's a lot of different ways that you can go ahead and do that. You know, for the people that use jars, you definitely want to sit those things in there for at least a few weeks. But there's trial and error. You know, you need to make sure you burp your jars. Check on them consistently. Try it. You know, put them under a microscope. Make sure you're harvesting it at the right time. Test it. Try it. You know, if you've been doing it for a while, you kind of when you've been doing it for a while, sometimes I shouldn't say this, but you might take your little handbook and put it to the side because now you're going off of feeling and just off of experience. But here's one last thing that I'll end it by saying. One of the problems is, especially if you're growing to supply a dispensary and you have your electrical bills and this and that, and you need to get your medicine out there so you can get paid. I understand that, but sometimes you need to slow it down. Take your time, make sure that it is properly cured, dried, harvested before you go out and send it to your dispensary. Although it takes a little bit longer for you to get your cash back, you need to do that to make sure that you're giving them the proper medicine. You know, you just got to take your time with it, and don't rush the process. And that's what happens most of the time. You're rushing it, and your medicine's just not ready.
Yeah, I always thought the biggest problem was as far as the curing goes, they didn't last long enough. Most people are rushing. Same thing even with the grow process. I noticed sometimes I get bud, and as soon as I look at it, I can see like, wow, this is premature. They definitely harvest this a little too early. I mean, it might smell good and look good, and then the THC content's not there.
No, totally. I agree. And the thing is, you also need to take a look at other factors like humidity. So when you're drying it, you know, it should be about between 45 to 55%. When you get to the curing stage, you can get a little bit higher, you know, at about 60 to 65%. So, you know, there's a lot of other little factors that students need to make sure that they're keeping up on. And that could affect what you're doing, for sure.
One last quickie question. Here in New Jersey, we have a couple dispensaries. Do you know offhand? Have you worked with any of the dispensaries growers to teach them? I mean, I'm not even a patient with New Jersey's. I'm not a patient with New Jersey's program, but I do get to sample their wares, and I seem to have a problem with more than half of it.
Right, I missed some of that. Was a question, do we work with the dispensaries as far as helping train them? Was that the question?
Yes, basically, yes.
In New Jersey, though,
In
right?
New Jersey. I was just wondering if any of the New Jersey dispensaries have had anyone...
do they have any graduates of
yeah.
Amsterdam University?
Oh, got it. Yes. And we were in Atlantic City, by the way. That was fantastic. Thank you. We got such a very, very warm welcome. It was fantastic. There were definitely graduates. First of all, there were some dispensaries. There was at least 2 or 3 of them that we had representatives from. I'd have to try to remember the names of them. One I know for sure. We had some of their staff members. So yeah, we definitely have graduates in some of the local dispensaries. Of course, Jersey's very, can be difficult out there. You guys have had some laws for a while, but access has been quite difficult. I understand that. So yeah, we do have some graduates. We're not working with them on an ongoing basis, but they do have our training. We're looking to do that in the future to reach out not just back to Jersey, but to the just other dispensaries in the areas where we do teach.
Nice.
Good to know that they have some Amsterdam training under their belt. Do you guys have a YouTube channel that offers maybe some how-to videos or some of these interesting little tidbits?
You know what? That's an awesome question. We do have a YouTube channel. You can always check us out. It's Oaksterdam or Oaksterdam Videos. We are going to start coming out with some of these little training tidbits and whatnot. We're going to have a monthly video message on our website every month. If you want to keep up to date with a lot of this stuff, you can always go to our website.